Like, okay, the gamer in me wants to say hey guys, but I don't want to say that.
I mean, so many people say hey guys. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Hey folks.
Please don't.
Hey y'all. No, don't work. Hey y'all, you cool dogs and puppies.
Please no.
I like it. I'm in.
I'm not in.
All aboard the Greyhound bus. Right? That's. Choo choo.
Is that what this video is going to be? 20 minutes of us?
He's just trying to figure out an intro. Yeah, that's going to be the whole video. Hey guys, I'm Justin.
And I'm Nikki.
And today we're going to be talking about our favorite books. So, do you want to talk about yours first? Do you want to do mine first?
We can do yours first.
Okay. So, my favorite book is Buddhist Boot Camp. It's kind of actually a self-help book. It's a non-fiction book by Timber Hawkeye. And every chapter is like a page long. So I first read it probably 6 years ago now. And I just thought it really helped me learn mindfulness. Like being mindful of people, patience, acceptance of people for who they are versus trying to make them how I think they should be. It's really all covered in this book. It comes from Timber Hawkeye, like I said. He was a Buddhist monk in the Himalayas for a really long time. He's a American though, and when he wrote this, he lived in Hawaii and like worked part-time as a paralegal or something. So he wrote this, and it's all about just a mindful living and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And to me, I thought it taught me appreciation, patience, just all these like great life skills. I think it's part of the reason I'm very open-minded and like generous towards people. I think is because of this book, because it taught me all those things, you know. So I think I owe a lot to this book, and I would recommend a lot of people read this book just because it changes you for the better.
Nice. My turn?
Yeah.
Well, mine isn't as like thought-provoking as yours.
I mean, that's fine. I kind of like that though, honestly. I like that we're on very different ends of the spectrum. Like mine's nonfiction, yours is fiction, yours is, you know, about Matt Dillon and, you know, Tom Cruise and all those. I have no idea what The Outsiders is about.
All right, so my favorite book is The Outsiders. I first read it when I was in 8th grade, so super long time ago.
Oh wow, yeah.
But it was really the first book I ever read that got me interested in English at all, when I actually thought I could make it a career. Hence the reason why I did major in English when I went to college.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just kind of...
What? And just talk about
it just got weird.
No, talk about it. It's cool.
It's just kind of like a coming of age story for Ponyboy. I feel like most people have probably read this book, or at least heard the quote, "Stay gold, Ponyboy." It really hit home for me because it was just kind of it's just about staying true to yourself and not letting anyone really change you. And
oh, okay.
So you said you have no idea what the story's about.
I watched the movie.
Okay.
In sociology in high school, which I think it was more or less that the teacher just wanted a day off than it was about the actual book itself. But I don't really remember much about it. I just remember, you know, like it had all these crazy actors in it.
Yeah.
And something about a fire. That's literally all I remember.
Something about a fire. I mean, I don't want to give too much away of the book, but like I said, it's just like...
Yeah, because we are going to read the books. I don't know if we mentioned that. Yeah. We're going to read each other's books. Now, the thing is, it's going to take me a lot longer to read that book than it's going to take you to read this. This is only 160 pages.
This isn't too long. This is only 200.
Yeah,
barely.
But your reading level is above like 6th grade. You know? So we'll see how that works out. But I'm excited though to read it.
Yeah, it's also really big on kind of like family values. on
Oh,
it.
really? Okay.
You know, like the main focus is on three brothers who kind of just rely on each other. Their parents aren't around.
I didn't know any of them were brothers.
Yeah, the three of them.
But there's like 6 or 7 of them in like the gang though, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
The Greasers.
Right. And is Pony Boy like the main character? Or?
He's the main character, yeah, and he's the youngest brother of
Oh,
the
okay.
three.
Okay. All right, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds cool. Can't
Yeah.
Where else to look at it? So this is I bought you this for Christmas last year, right?
Yeah.
So this is the 50th anniversary edition, and it comes with pictures from like the movie set and stuff.
Yeah, and it actually comes with, they interviewed the actors for the movie in this.
Oh, really?
And it shows what they kind of liked about the movie the best and filming the movie wherever they are. They're somewhere in here.
I would say, I'm sure it's right here at the end, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, each one has a different page on just kind of being interviewed about the whole process and what they experienced.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I don't know who any of these people. Oh, I know Ralph Macchio. Now, was he Pony Boy or who played Pony
I
Boy?
have no idea. I'm not good with names at all.
Rob Lowe. I forgot Rob Lowe was in it. Yeah, that's cool. Trying to find the actual like movie.
Yeah, but it's my favorite book, favorite movie, favorite thing all around, pretty much.
So it's it's kind of just a coming of age story.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And just not losing yourself. I mean, that was really important to me in high school, and when I turned 18, I got the Stay Gold Pony Boy tattooed on myself for it.
Right. I don't have Buddhist boot camp.
You don't have that tattoo?
Nah,
You don't
nah.
want to get a matching one right
I
here?
mean, in a way, the pizza tattoo, whatever forever, that's actually pretty Buddhist. Like when you read this, like it is actually kind of like, yeah, whatever forever, you know. But at the same time, not forever, I guess. This book also goes through impermanence a lot. Like he talks about that a lot, like impermanence of life, like.
So what exactly?
I'm
not sure exactly what that is.
just like not like impermanence is just like the opposite of permanence, you know. So
Okay.
it's impermanence of life. Like eventually you're gonna die.
Yeah, nothing's
You know,
permanent.
live for the day. Like however you're feeling. Like if you're having a bad day, it's impermanent because tomorrow or an hour from now you're gonna be a completely different person. That's like a big one in this, and I think that's also why a lot of times when I get mad about something, it's like 20 minutes and I'm done.
Yeah.
Because you know I don't care. You know it doesn't matter in the long run. You know.
Yeah, I'm the one that holds on to things.
Even like on Facebook, after I read this, I started posting like daily things about myself, like things I was trying to do to become a better person and stuff. And I ended all of them with like "Namaste, my friends." And yeah, I was kind of I don't know, I wouldn't say I was a douche, but it was very cringy, I guess you would say. Like looking back
I
on
would
it.
have judged you if
Yeah.
I knew you at that point.
Yeah, looking back on it, now that I see those on like my Facebook memories and stuff, I'm like, ugh.
You didn't even delete them, you just kept them?
No, I don't delete any of my Facebook memories. Unless they're just like really stupid.
Oh, I delete all my Facebook memories.
Oh, really? No,
Yeah.
I love seeing them. I'm like, oh man, I was such an idiot. But yeah. So now we are gonna probably take about a week, I'd say. You will take a day, I'm sure. Like 2 hours from now, you could probably have this read. But yeah, it'd probably take like a week, it would say, for me to read that. So we're gonna read the books, and then we'll be back and give you our thoughts.
Sounds good.
All right. See you then.
Bye. Okay, looks like you like me.
We're centered right now. Stop moving around.
Sorry. Okay, wait, let me. Okay. I'm ready.
Okay. Welcome back, everyone. So it's been
About a week.
Yeah, maybe a little over. What was that sound?
I don't know what that was.
And we read each other's books, and now we're gonna talk about them. And I guess I wouldn't say review them, but just like go over.
Like what our
Thoughts
favorite
are,
parts were and
Yeah. So you can go ahead since we started with mine. We'll start with mine again.
Okay. Well, I liked all of it, first of all. Just go over the big picture.
Yeah.
So I would say the parts that really stood out to me was, the relationship parts, because I do struggle with jealousy a lot. Justin can tell you that. And they have a whole section on what a healthy relationship looks like. And it says relationships are often misunderstood to be a simple commitment between two people, a dedication to each other with a sense of belonging to one another. This kind of limited perspective breeds expectations, possessiveness, and disappointment. It reeks of ownership, greed, ignorance, and selfish desire, which is something that Justin really doesn't struggle with. He really doesn't get jealous or possessive or have crazy expectations for me in the relationship, but I feel like that's something I definitely struggle with, all of that. I get jealous, I get possessive, and I'm like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Or why didn't you react this way?
So every chapter in the book, he ends with a quote, and I think it's this one, right? Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones that's in the whole book, and it's probably one of the only ones I remember, but it says, love does not consist of gazing at each other, but in looking outward together in one direction. So I thought that was pretty good, and I always like that quote. Because yeah, it's like real love isn't just staring at each other forever. It's being a partnership and moving forward together. So I always thought that was a really good quote.
No, yeah, I agree. So that's something that I made a lot of sense to me, and something that I really need to work on.
That's why I got this book.
I have no doubt.
I don't know. No, it really is one of my favorites. I would say it is my favorite book I've ever read.
Another thing that stood out to me was the chapter, Everyone is Your Teacher.
Yeah.
He goes into his parents disowning him and just kind of his parents getting over the grudge they had against their son. And a quote in this one was, I'm grateful for both of them. While my father continues to show me what letting go looks like, my brother's behavior has taught me equally valuable lessons on how not to be. I hope she starts forgiving people she believes have wronged her in the past. Resentment is poisonous to our health, and it pains me that she suffers so much. I definitely hold on to my grudges. I feel like I still have grudges against people that I had grudges in high school, and that was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And just friends I've had along the way that, friendships fall out, and, still kind of resentful towards them for how things ended, and that's not their fault, it's my fault that I'm still holding on to it, all these years later. And the quote in this one is, life becomes easier when you learn to accept an apology you never got. Which is so true, because that saying where it's like, people live in your head rent free.
Yeah. It's kind of weird, because, that's probably one of the biggest chapters in the book, I would say. Even on Timber Hawkeye, the author's social media, he reiterates kind of the message of that chapter over and over and over again. So I would say it's probably the one thing he wants people to take away from the whole book. And I say probably at least once a day, especially in the food service industry. I go through that every day.
But when I worked in retail for 5 years, and when someone was rude to me, it just ruined my entire day. That's all I thought about for the rest of the day.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously sometimes it's going to, it's not to say that...
Yeah, nobody's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. It's not to say that, someone's not going to say something that you just can't shake off, because people are horrible sometimes. But, I would say Everyone is Your Teacher, definitely one of the best chapters in the book.
Oh, okay. So, I think this is the last one I want to talk about, or else we'll be here all day. This one is, the chapter's called The Two Wolves, and it's just about how, in everybody there's two versions of themselves. One is calm, truthful, giving, forgiving, harmonious, and wise. while the other is greedy, selfish, dishonest, and argumentative. And it's just about, you have to vow to listen to the wiser of the two for the rest of the day. That's something that I've learned throughout this book, is I feel like I definitely go towards negativity a little bit more. Like, I let it really get to me a lot.
Yeah.
And then this one, it kind of goes along with a Native American story he talks about, where an old man tells his grandson, there's a battle between two wolves inside of us. One is evil and the other is good. The boy asks which wolf wins, and the man answers, the one you feed. I thought that was a great analogy. I've heard that analogy before.
Yeah.
And the quote is, it is better to have a mind opened by wonder than a mind closed by belief. So yeah, that's just something, again, I kind of struggle with, is when something happens, I always think of the negative side for it. Like, oh, well, we can't do this, so it ruins my day. Justin will tell you that. But overall, reading this book, I felt like it really did help me understand you a little bit better. Because, if you know Justin in real life, he really doesn't care about material things that much. Money really doesn't mean a lot to him. He can have $2 or $200,000, and it really makes no difference to him. So reading this was super interesting for me, because I felt like it kind of, I get in your head a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely think that this book shaped the way I think. I read it when I was probably 19 or 20, so that probably has a lot to do with it. Still a very impressionable age. But yeah, Temper Hawkeye really changed the way I look at things. Let me go through it and make sure there's nothing I wanted to bring up. But yeah, it's a very good book, I'd say. If you're just looking to try to switch things up, people classify it as a self-help book. I guess it is at its core.
I think I would classify it as self-help.
Yeah, I guess it is at its core. But when I think self-help, I think The Secret. Have you ever read that one? So The Secret is if you think about something and you speak it out to the universe, it'll come true. So I wanted,
like a manifestation.
Yeah, I wanted this house, so I put it on my dream board, and 2 years later I live in it. And it's to me, it takes away from actually doing hard work. It kind of makes it seem all you gotta do is think about something and it'll come true. So I guess I lump those two together, and that's why I don't like classifying this as a self-help book, because it makes it seem like it's, I guess snake oil. It's not real. Buddhist Boot Camp's definitely one of my favorite books. That's why I recommended it. And yeah, anything you want to add on it?
I don't think so. I think I covered everything I wanted to talk about.
Okay. He also has another book named Faithfully Religionless.
I saw that in the end. I think he's got a, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't read that, so maybe I'll pick that up and listen to it on audiobook. All right. So now I did The Outsiders. All right. So I finished this last night at 4 a.m. And yeah, I listened to the audiobook. I told you that I was gonna have to do that because I can't read fast enough to do this. It was 20 pages I read in an hour.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's okay.
Yeah, I don't read very often, The video games don't have that many words. That's the golden part of video games. But The Outsiders, never read it before. I remember watching part of the movie, like I said, in high school. Wasn't a burning house, it was a burning church. But that is literally the only part of the movie that I remember. That and the cast, I remember it had Rob Lowe and Patrick Swayze, Tom Cruise, Emilio Estevez, all these really big names.
Oh yeah.
Hi Kylo. And what did you think of the book? What did you think of the book, Kylo? But yeah, I thought it was really good. Probably one of my favorite books I've ever read. 4 a.m. sitting in my office, crying over, stay gold, pony boy. Yeah, it's crazy because didn't S.E. Hinton? This is one of the only books she's ever written, right?
She's written a lot of other ones.
She has. Oh, okay.
But nothing as popular
big?
as The Outsiders.
And she wrote this when she was 16, right? Is that this one?
I'm not sure.
I thought
she was.
I thought it was this. Alexa, how old was S.E. Hinton when she wrote The Outsiders?
S.E. Hinton was 19 when The Outsiders was published on April 24th, 1967.
Well, when it was published, so she probably did write it earlier than that.
That's true, yeah, because it takes a few years. So yeah, she probably did write it when she was 16 or 17, which is insane because there's so many adult themes, I think, and very big picture things that I definitely didn't understand when I was 16. Pony Boy's optimistic, rose-colored view of the world, but at the same time being very pessimistic. Like he loves sunsets, he loves books, he loves going to the movies, but at the same time he understands that everything check out? What's going on? I know. But yeah, at the same time, he understands that what's going on around him.
Yeah, the culture he was brought up in.
Yeah, the social class structure that it's all I was a history major, so it reminds me of the learning about India where they talk about the caste system. The untouchables and the upper class people, and it reminds me of that where it's so rigid. I think it's definitely even true to today though. When I read the book, I thought about my high school experience, and I thought that it's definitely was still a thing then. Obviously not the stabbing and killing people and stuff like that.
No, but definitely the cliques.
Yeah, the more wealthy, popular. They call them preps, for a reason. So, those kids definitely stuck to each other, and you didn't see them talk to what I would classify as the burnouts. The kids that were poor and probably got into more stuff. It was definitely interesting that something relatable to 1950 is still relatable to today. Pony Boy's relationship with Derry, where that Derry loves him, and I think Pony Boy did. He just didn't really want to accept it, I guess, that Derry's just...
he's trying his best in an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, he's 20 years old and he's working 2 jobs to support his brothers.
All while kind of being the leader of this, the greasers.
I thought that was interesting too, that Derry was the leader. But I guess it makes sense at the same time because all those kids don't really have a father figure. So even someone as young as Derry could be that father, big brother. And they talk about how Derry doesn't really get into the other stuff that the other boys do. He doesn't rob gas stations, and neither does Soda Pop and Pony Boy.
He's the voice of reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's obviously a good kid. Good man. But yeah, he leaves the door unlocked so the kids can come and crash on his couch whenever they need somewhere to stay. And yeah, I think honestly Derry might have been one of my favorite characters in the book. Obviously the stay gold part, the poem that Pony Boy reads to Johnny in the church, or recites to Johnny, I guess, about staying gold, because it's the sun. It's the sunrise, right? That's
nothing gold can stay.
Yeah, and because during the sunrise everything's gold, but the sun comes up and nothing stays gold forever. And then at the end, Johnny writes "Stay Gold" in the letter and tells it to him, and Ponyboy finally understands what it means, and that it's not stay gold, like be gold. It's stay innocent. And I thought that you put it like a good way too, like stay yourself and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like almost even more than that. It's stay a kid, stay innocent. Don't let this world change you, like the way that this world is change you. Johnny was like a heartbreaking character. He gets beat at home. His parents don't care if he comes or goes. He sleeps in a vacant lot when it's warm sometimes. And then he kills Bob at that fountain, trying to protect Ponyboy, and then saves those kids at the church, but obviously dies subsequently from it. Johnny was a crazy character too, because that's sad. Like, yeah. I'm like trying not to cry right now. It's still fresh, yeah. All right. Well, that's our favorite books: Buddhist Boot Camp and The Outsiders. Go ahead and pick them up if you wanna read through them. I would recommend it. I know both of them you can get on an audiobook. Buddhist Boot Camp is read by Timber Hawkeye. But this one, The Outsiders, you can actually find it on YouTube and listen to an audiobook for free. The channel name is Daniel Roberts. He does everything except chapter 9, which I thought was weird.
That is weird. Did you have to read chapter 9 or?
No, I just went somewhere else. Someone else had a few. They weren't as good though. His recordings are very good of him reading it, and he does he puts a lot of emotion into the reading and actually does voices for the different characters. Like he slowly barely changes his voice to where you can recognize who the different characters are, but it's not like a distracting amount, So that was actually a really good find for me. But yeah, so you can pick up audiobooks of them. You can, if you're my mom, that's probably what you're about to do. And if you wanted to pick up physical copies, we got both of these on Amazon. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. We're a new channel, so every subscriber counts. And let's go ahead and set a goal. What do you think? 50 subscribers by the end of January? That gave us 2 months.
Okay.
Alright, so 50 subscribers by the end of January. That's our goal. And hoping to complete it. So, hope you guys have a great day. Okay. Do you guys want to say bye? Hold on. Kylo, say goodbye. Say goodbye, good people.